गुणैरुत्तमतां याति नोच्चैरासनसंस्थितः प्रासादशिखरस्थोऽपि काकः किं गरुडायते.
Today let us sit with a verse from Chanakya Niti, chapter 16. Listen to it first in Sanskrit. Gunair uttamatam yati na uchchare asana samsthitah prasada shikarastho api kakah kim garudayate. It means one attains excellence through virtues, not by sitting on a high seat. Even perched on the pinnacle of a palace, does a crow become Garuda? Let us open the words slowly, because in Sanskrit, the grammar itself carries the teaching. The verse begins with gunai, which means by qualities or by virtues. Now here is something beautiful. The word guna originally means a strand of a rope, a thread. So your qualities are not decorations pinned onto you. They are the very fibers you are woven from. And the grammar puts guna in the instrumental case, the case of tools. Chanakya is saying virtue is the instrument, the only working tool by which anyone rises. Uttamatam means excellence, the highest state. Yaati means goes to or attains, from the root ya, to move, to travel. So excellence is reached by movement, by a journey. Then comes the negation. Na uchchare asana samsthita, not by being seated on a lofty seat. The word asana comes from the root as, to sit, and samsthita comes from the root stha, to stand still, to be stationed. Do you see what the verse is doing? It sets two verbs against each other. Yati, the one who moves, who grows, who travels by virtue. Sthitah, the one who merely stands parked on a height. Becoming versus sitting. That is the whole battle of the verse, hidden in two roots. Then comes the unforgettable image. Prasada shikarastha api, even standing on the pinnacle of a palace. Kaka, a crow. Kim garudayate, does it become Garuda? And here Sanskrit gives us its finest joke. Garudaayate is what grammarians call a denominative verb. The name Garuda, the great eagle, has been turned into a verb. Literally, it means to Garuda oneself, to perform Garuda-ness, to act the part. The crow can only verb at being Garuda. It can imitate, posture, perform. It can never simply be the noun. The pretense is built into the grammar itself. Now, who is speaking? This is Chanakya, also known as Kautilya, the great strategist of the 4th century before the Common Era, the author of the Arthashastra. And this verse is his own life story, compressed into 19 syllables. Chanakya was a poor scholar, famously plain in appearance, who was insulted and thrown out of the court of the emperor Dhanananda, a man seated on the highest throne in India, but hollow in character. Chanakya did not go looking for a better seat. He went looking for a better man. He found a boy of humble, disputed birth named Chandragupta, cultivated his qualities year after year, and placed him on that very throne. The seat had not made the Nandas great. The lack of a seat had not made Chandragupta small. Chanakya watched a crow fall from the palace spire. and he watched a Garuda rise from the dust. Now let us go deeper into the symbols. The crow in Sanskrit literature is the scavenger, clever, loud, imitative, living on leftovers. It stands for the person skilled at acquiring position, the operator, the flatterer, the one who inherits or maneuvers a way to the top. Garuda is the king of birds, the mount of Vishnu himself, who crosses the sky by the strength of his own wings. And notice the quiet irony Chanakya has planted. The crow on the palace spire is actually higher off the ground than Garuda resting on a branch. If you measure by altitude, the crow wins. But height is not greatness. Garuda's glory is in his flight, not his perch. He does not need the palace. The whole sky is his by nature. Here is the psychological heart of the teaching. We constantly confuse status with stature. Status is where you sit in the hierarchy. Stature is what you actually are. The world hands out status without stature all the time. Through luck, connections, inheritance, politics, and it often denies status to real stature. Chanakya's counsel is ruthless clarity. Never measure a person, including yourself, by the seat. Ask only one question. When this one steps off the spire, what remains? Can it fly? This wisdom echoes everywhere. Aesop told of the jackdaw who dressed in peacock feathers and was pecked by both peacocks and jackdaws when the borrowed plumage fell. The Europeans said the cowl does not make the monk. Marcus Aurelius, sitting on the highest throne in Rome, warned himself daily not to be dyed purple by his own robe. And modern psychology has confirmed the danger from the other side. Research on power shows that elevation inflates self-assessment. The higher the seat, the less accurately we see ourselves. The crow on the spire, with everyone gazing up at it, genuinely begins to believe it is Garuda. Management science even has a name for the institutional version, the Peter Principle, where people are promoted past their competence. Chanakya diagnosed that failure mode over 2000 years ago. So how do we live this verse? Let me leave you with 3 questions and 1 practice. First, the naked audit. If every title, position, and platform was stripped from you tonight, what actual capacities would remain by morning? Is your confidence resting on your wings or on your perch? Second, the evaluation habit. When you judge others, a leader, a partner, a teacher, are you measuring their qualities or are you dazzled by their high seat? Third, the direction of effort. This past month, how much of your energy went into acquiring position and how much into building quality? Are you climbing spires or growing wings? And the practice. Tonight and every night, keep a small ledger with 2 columns. Call one column Perch. Everything you gained today that is positional, recognition, access, optics. It can all be taken from you. Call the other column Wings. Everything intrinsic you gained. A skill sharpened, a discipline kept, a hard truth accepted. It can never be taken from you. The rule is simple. Never let the wings column stay empty, and never celebrate a perch more than a wing. because in the end, the palace spire is borrowed, the wings are yours. Guner uttamatam yaati. By qualities alone does one rise. Grow the wings, and any sky is home.
गुणैरुत्तमतां याति नोच्चैरासनसंस्थितः प्रासादशिखरस्थोऽपि काकः किं गरुडायते